Within the use and application of artificial intelligence, AI, we already see gaps in the availability of data, quality of data, the assured provision of data, and more. This is impacting the services provided, the outcomes determined, as well as the risk and profitability from the use of AI. The business opportunities around the provision of data to support AI are considered. Let's get into it. In this ad hoc series, we selectively reflect on business aspects of trends in technology. The intent is to look at emerging opportunities stemming from technology changes, but from a business perspective. Beyond any initial laughter and skepticism inherent with any level of crystal ball gazing, a question resonating may be along the lines of, why is this series different to all of the other commentary and analysis seen? Simple. It is not about commentary and analysis. The series is about taking proven business practicalities and pragmatics with what is occurring on the ground and taking a moment to reflect on what we are experiencing. For the skeptical, we talk about trends and impacts we experience in business. Though we may not know how the trends will pan out, these trends are occurring now with inherent opportunities. We are not about hype, and we have no backing or vested interest to support us. Above all, we are trying to help others through the sharing of skills and expertise to assist with business preparation for transformation around technology. In this session, we look at the opportunities and related issues to the provision of data to support its use in AI. Global, country, business need for data in AI. In related sessions, the business opportunities around AI have been addressed from different perspectives. Details are in the links below. In this session, the opportunity for the management of data across the value stack and the data logistics chain required, and for data to be provided to AI, is considered further. The demand is global, as we already see issues with the supply, access, quality, and related aspects of data to service AI. The certainty of data services, the data integration, as well as the use of blended and derived data products is required. The data needs to be assured before the use by AI. Assurance of the data within the AI alongside the algorithms and the different types of AI is required. The business opportunity applies across the integrated value stack in supplying the shovels to the gold diggers and in the gold diggers. Integration across the data logistics chain and value stack. With the context set, consider the integration across the data logistics chain and the data value stack. Starting with the data centers where the required technology and databases are kept with the necessary connections to networks and related. Controlling this is important to businesses, governments, and countries. Having this infrastructure owned by others brings its own risks and impacts to a country's economy. Next is the servers, databases, and software which is used and which AI forms part of. This is often termed compute and is often the cloud-based services we use. From countries to local government to businesses, risk management of compute is required and a series of business opportunities exist. The supply of data, the storage and records management of data, the aggregation, the permissions, role-based access, security, safety, availability, exchange, and the quality of data is required by businesses, governments, and a range of organizations. Services related to data are an area of business opportunity irrespective of AI. The products and services derived from the use of data, the knowledge worker services, and related are a societal ubiquity with their own business opportunities. The provision and management of data with stakeholders, customers, staff, suppliers, agencies, channel partners, and third parties is also required. Related to this is the required governance, risk management, regulatory safety and security for the services. The required audit and assurance is also part of the integrated services offering. Together, this is the value stack for which the business opportunities exist and are considered further. Risk management of data for AI across the data logistics chain and value stack. Consider a country and its government, though the discussion is applicable across businesses and organizations. Sovereign risk. First, there is the sovereign risk. Is it wise to rely upon other countries for data management services? Is the risk from loss of data acceptable to a country by having areas outside of control? Many aspects to sovereign risk occur, but the benefits of an integrated solution across the data logistics chain and value stack to a country, even if for specialist areas like security and defense or financial systems, is for consideration and the related business opportunities. Strategic risk. The ability to manage the many aspects of data is integral to the strategic risk management of a country, from being able to meet the service demand to the emerging requirements to having control over key aspects is strategically important. The business opportunities for enabling this are both significant and important. Economic risk. From using data services to help grow an economy, in the servicing of an economy and to emerging needs, the ability to manage data is an economic risk. The impacts of loss of data to business, the cost of data breaches to an economy, the loss of productivity through delays in access to data, all have economic impacts which are already seen. The greater use of AI and the automation of knowledge workers and AI within a range of service provision and assurance is set to increase the economic impacts from data and the need for an integrated data management function. Environmental risk. The ability to manage data has an environmental risk in terms of power generation, power supply, and the power use to a country. This is something a country would seek to control. The access to data can also impact the response of a country to environmental outcomes, e.g. floods or storms or earthquakes or fires. Societal risk. Government is faced with managing impacts upon society from data and AI, from fear and remediation of data breaches. The costs alone are significant to government. The dissatisfaction of people also impacts the politicians and governments and what they do and how they respond. Having integrated data servicing is part of managing societal risk. Managing an integrated response across the data logistics chain and value stack is required of governments, agencies, business, and organizations. For a government, an integrated response across industry sectors, education, and governments with its agencies is required. Similar principles apply and related risks occur in business. Data centers and infrastructure for AI. Part of the value stack is control of data centers and related infrastructure. Many countries have a controlling stake and agreements with telecommunications networks and related services. Similarly, many governments also often have control of data centers for selected services and needs. This relates to sovereign risk, managing the risk of vendor dependency, being able to prioritize and scale for specific demand, as well as oversight of the overall data and information security risk. For an overall integrated approach for the benefits of a country, the management of data center services is required. This is seen with the likes of Walmart, who have ensured their own data center service provision because of the business criticality. A government seeking to manage its own sovereign risk may oversee its data center services while using data centers with its own technology as part of an integrated stack for economic development. Managing the evolving compute layer. For aligning with the emerging needs of AI as well as current business needs, a series of changes to the compute layer are expected, bringing business opportunities as well as impacting existing business models. Changes are seen across business and especially the technology companies offering low-end value services who will need to move up the value stack to compete. Integration. Management of the data and related service to AI sees an integration of systems and AI types for which business opportunities exist. The management of data sources as well as the use of blended and derived products in an automated and machine-to-machine operations are all part of the data services required and of the value proposition in the integrated stack. Application consolidation. The automated services and machine-to-machine are set to drive a new generation of applications, database integration, and operating systems. The opportunity to simplify is ripe. With AI being folded into applications and AI being used for assurance in the applications, new generations of integrated software are expected. This brings many business opportunities. Data-centric operations. The management of ICT operations and services is expected to change as well. The focus moves to the provision of data rather than applications, as automated and machine-to-machine operations consume data directly. Dependencies. The need to manage dependencies to support service and operations around AI. All of these are part of the data management required and provide opportunities for products and services as well as forming part of the integrated offering. Data provision services for AI. Much of the conversation around data management is in getting data ready for use by AI. AI will play a role in these services, but gaps are already occurring in the outcomes from AI because the data service aspects. Currently, AI takes information from different sources, creating a replication. This is repeated many times. Reducing this replication is also an emerging area to address. The aspects of data management seen are to be addressed for the data servicing AI, creating business opportunities, and forming part of the data stack. Additional management from data services for AI. Two further areas for the data management stack related to AI where opportunities are set to occur lie in the use of blended and derived products and in managing the impacts from AI. Part of the automated and machine-to-machine is set to be the use of blended and derived data products, which are then used for other services. Assuring the validity, supply, and quality of the product is required on a risk-based approach. With operations being automated, the risk of process operating and delivering incorrect outcomes, which requires remediation, increases. Risk management of these are required for the management of data for AI and are part of the integrated value stack. Again, business opportunities in advisory, services and consulting exist. Prerequisites for data services in support of AI. Just as in the need for transformation around AI requires prerequisite capacities and capabilities like project management or testing or business transformation, a data practice is also one of the prerequisites required. Like a project management office providing the shared services, support services, and overall portfolio management for delivery by projects, programs, and portfolios to a business, a data practice is similar. The successful outcomes from AI have a dependency upon a data practice across an organization with the inherent support services, shared services, and overall management for business delivery. Similar prerequisites for transformation are needed for the crafting and shaping the capacity and capability to adapt and adopt of integrated data services across the data value stack and the data logistics chain. While the establishment of data practices is addressed elsewhere, some common themes are summarized. Further links are in the comments below. The services in advisory, specialist services, consulting, controls, skilling and training, and other aspects are a value-added proposition for business. Government policy can influence data practice within the overall value stack, especially in the areas of procurement, sovereign risk, and in task forces for economic transformation. Education plays a key role with the need for skilling and training across the sectors. Having industry-specific, role-specific, scenario-specific is also required. To meet the demand, bureau-based models for industry-specific needs, see links below, is an emerging opportunity. The themes of an integrated response, the business opportunities, and the role of education and government in realizing outcomes are common. Areas of opportunity across the data value stack and data logistics chain for AI. The business opportunities around the integrated data management are global in nature, but are often realized at a country level through an integrated approach of government, industry and academia. Driven by economic policy, national defense and sovereign risk, a prioritization of utility needs, government requirements, and supported by education and industry sector driven, an overall approach is realized. Starting at the data centers with own management, selected commercial technology and partners alongside country-based technology, the integrated offering for sovereign risk and economic management is undertaken. The focus on strategic risk and avoiding vendor dependency is critical to key economic areas. The compute in support is about the integration of systems, the integration of differing AI types, and the next generation of applications with AI folded in with revised operating systems and data integration. The combined government, industry and academia approach is again required. The economic drivers, the sovereign risk and meeting the emerging markets with next generation products and services is required. The data provision in all of its aspects of supply and management is a focus. Rather than taking an application or operating system or device view, the data need is the driver. This will then impact the devices designed and used, the chip engineering, the security and encryption. The use of a mixture of communication technologies supported by local technology with managed vendor dependency is part of the overall approach. Business opportunities exist in the supporting and shared services required alongside the data services and operations. These supporting and shared services are often overlooked and are a key part of the integrated offering to meet national needs as well as commercial servicing. Services related to advisory and awareness, skilling the ability to do, and training the how to do. Whether it is for government needs or for protection from lawsuits or for service assurance to retain customers, a necessary and commensurate audit and assurance function on a risk-based approach is required. Again, these are services that can be applied to realize business opportunities. Whether a government of a country, a business, small, medium or large, or other organization, the need to manage data for AI is an issue now and is emerging and ongoing. This data need provides business opportunities across the data supply chain and value stack, which were considered in this session. To realize the value proposition across the data logistics chain and value stack requires an integrated approach across education, government, and industry sectors. Hope this session has provoked some thinking around the business opportunities, investments, and opportunities for business transformation. Thank you for your time. Please share with others. Feel free to subscribe and add your comments.